Have you ever had a moment in your life where you've been so stressed out that you just feel like you're going to pop?
Well, there was the one about 12 minutes ago, and the one about 18 minutes ago, and the one about 27 minutes ago. Do those count?
They sure do. And I think we need to talk about how we can resolve stressful situations.
We have lots of ideas. There's ways that we manage it, and we hope that they'll either be good reminders or new ways that you can manage your own stress when times get tough.
But first, this is the Fit Mess, where together we learn to develop habits that help us live beyond our mental health struggles to create happier, healthier lives.
He's Zach. He lives in the future with his anxiety.
He's Jeremy, and he lives in the past with his depression. And we get together once a week in the present to share the obstacles we face and how we overcome them.
That good of a week already, huh?
Yes. Yes, it is.
All right. Well, we're talking about stress and all the stuff and crap that falls in our laps that we have to deal with all the time. You have been absolutely buried by it. And don't worry, it's not going to just be a complete, venting bitch session. We've got solutions. We've got things that we do and tips to help you manage yours. I want to hear what you're doing to manage yours, Zach. But first, what the hell, man? It's been some stressful times for you.
What do you mean? This is not just a bitch session?
Well, I did hit record. We did the bitch session before. I've now hit record, so nobody wants to hear that part.
I'm out. I'm done. Can't do it again. No, it has been very interesting. It's been an interesting week.
43 years?
Weeks. I don't know, maybe 3 weeks. We all have stress, right? We all have, just living in today's day and age, there's stress.
Mm-hmm.
Every now and again, you get that perfect storm of 18 different things all hitting at the same time. Mm-hmm. And any one of those things doesn't cause you to lose your cool or get to the point where you're going to pop, right? Yeah. But when they all hit at the same time and they build off of each other, mm-hmm. and you're literally trying to, take the top off of the mayonnaise jar and you can't open it, and you're a 43-year-old man, you should be able to open the mayonnaise jar, and you almost throw it across the room. Right? We've all been there.
I was there 25 minutes ago. Behind the curtain, right? I was going to record this episode from another location, plugged in a microphone that I haven't used in the longest time. Stupid thing wouldn't work. Okay, whatever. It's a one-off. Come back home, plug all the stuff in. Everything's going fine. But I got to get something out of the car. And I go over and the passenger side door is locked, which is normally fine because we all have fobs now and you push a button to unlock it. But of course our fob doesn't work. So I've got to walk around the car, and it's the dumbest little thing to complain about. But I literally 25 minutes ago, before we were talking, I was saying to myself, all of these little things that pile up are the shit that breaks me. It's not the big stuff. It's when these tiny little things just keep stacking on top of each other where you're just like, good Lord, can I just get a break? And it's dumb because they're little things. But oh my God, they're painful when they pile up like that.
They are. And for me, I have had, work has been more stressful than normal. I have a stressful job for the most part. Well, actually, I can't say it's super stressful, but it's demanding.
Yeah.
And the last few weeks have been a little bit more stressful than normal. Mm-hmm. Fair. I can deal with that. That's okay. I can deal with that.
Yeah.
I've got a bunch of personal things that are going on that I'm not really going to talk about on the show, but those are stressful.
Very
as well.
Yes.
And just, all the things have kind of hit. There's just been a multitude of, feelings that are ups and downs for me. Mm-hmm. And I've spent, the last probably 3 weeks just being in a either in fight or flight. I want to run away from whatever it is that's hitting me.
Yeah.
Or I got to fight it.
Yeah.
And man, I have to tell you, in this moment, I look back at myself 20 years ago. I would have flipped the fuck out 20 years ago in this exact same situation. I'd probably be in jail for something just because I would not have managed it okay.
Yeah.
I would not have done well. Mm-hmm. But over the years, I've just all these little changes that we talk about.
Yeah.
I've put them in place, and I can recognize when I'm about to pop. And I just go lay down on my bed, close my eyes, middle of the day, I don't take naps. I do not rest. I am go, 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 go
Yes.
all the time. But in the last week, I have gone, it's 3:00 in the afternoon.
Nighty night.
I need to decompress. And I just go lay down, close my eyes, and I just lay there and I breathe. I do my box breathing, count sheep, like whatever, like just something that's a little bit meditative, a lot of breathing, and just relax. And then I can get back into it. And again, it's been so stressful that like it builds right back up like 6 hours later. And then I get really pissed off because I can't do a double under at the gym. Like this morning, I was trying to do double unders where the rope passes under your feet twice and in one jump.
Yeah.
And I haven't been able to do them for years. And every time I do them, I'm always like, all right, I will get them. I'll keep practicing. I'm going to get it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to make it.
Yeah.
And this morning I failed like 4 times. And when you fail on a double under, it whips your arm and it really hurts.
Yeah.
And then I threw the rope and was like, fuck this. I'm never going to be good at this. My life sucks.
Okay. So you just hit on something that I wanted to ask you about in that is that, and I think people will relate to this, that I'll never get there. This is never going to end. I'm going to deal with this forever. Is that where you're living right now? Is that I'm going to live in this shitstorm forever?
When it hits, like when it's really big. But again, I have all of these things that I've built over the years. And like, I'm really proud of the fact that like I have those moments and I say that in my head. And then I immediately go, whoa, calm down there, boy.
Yeah.
You got this. Take your deep breaths. You don't suck. You're having a bad moment. You're okay. Yes, your arm is almost bleeding because the rope hit it so hard. You're okay.
Yeah.
Take your deep breaths. But yeah, man, like we all get there. We all get to that breaking point. And there's just, having that interrupt in there to stop and really say, okay, I'm stressed out. I'm about to pop. And taking care of yourself. Don't keep dealing with the situation, whatever it is, unless like you're driving and you have to. But like, stop. Literally stop whatever you're doing. Be like, okay, I need me time. I got to take care of me. Because we don't have to react negatively to these things.
It's interesting you say that. So I had a moment last weekend, and I've been under similar stresses, lots of stuff going on in my life as well. But I'm not in the muck like you are right now. But I had a moment where I realized how uncomfortable I am with being by myself. I had a situation where I was away from the family. I was out of town, and I had a thing to do for midday, and I had a thing to do in the afternoon, but there was like a 2-hour window, and I was in like full panic mode of like, what am I going to do for that 2 hours? Should I go there? Should I go there? How about the options? There's so many things I could do. I don't want to do any of them, but I feel like I have to do all of them. And I just was spinning out with like, oh my God, how do I maximize this time? How do I get the most out of it? And as it just kept building and building, I finally went, wait a minute. How about just go with me here? What if we just go with it? What if we just show up and see what happens? Right? I was like, who knows? Maybe the thing you're doing in the morning, the people will want to get lunch afterwards. Now you're free. You can go with them. You don't have to say no and go do the other. Just go with it. Just see what happens. And it's exactly what happened. By letting go, I ended up in a situation where I got to know somebody a little bit better. I got to hang out with them for a couple hours, and it was really nice. And from that, there have been so many more moments just in the last week where I would find myself spinning out again about something and trying to control it, trying to just white knuckle the wheel, just like I've got to just control this thing and make this thing happen. And every time when I catch myself in that space and go, this is not yours to control. This is beyond your control. All you have to do is show up, and whatever's supposed to happen is going to happen.
You make it sound too simple.
Oh my God, it's been so liberating. Even honestly, today when I woke up, I was like, oh crap, what are me and Zach going to talk about? I don't know. We don't have a topic planned. I don't know what to do. And I just started like dumping words on the paper, and some of them were, it'll come to you, just relax. And ultimately I was like, that's it. And then of course you were completely stressed out. And I was like, oh, perfect. Zach's got something. This is great.
Yeah, no, you were like, what's our topic today? I was like, stress. I've been suffering all week just so we could have this
just
conversation.
for a topic. It's fantastic. I'm very happy with the way this has gone. This is wonderful.
I'm so happy you let go and that I've experienced all of this just so that you could let go and let the universe answer your question.
That's right. That's right.
So you're welcome.
Perfect.
You're welcome, everyone.
All right. So step one in this process, whatever stress you're managing, whatever's going on, whatever feels out of control that you're trying to control, step one is let go. Like, so much of the stuff that we freak out, just lose our minds trying to control, is way beyond our control. Just let go. Let go of the wheel, open your hands, and it's amazing how Zach will show up and provide for you.
Let's put a couple stipulations on that, please.
All right, what's step two, Zach? Provide step two for us.
Well, step two, you really need to know yourself, and you need to have a couple of coping mechanisms. You need to have some things in place. Like for me, it is just stopping, laying down, doing box breathing. If you don't know what box breathing is, I'm going to tell you right now. It is inhale to the count of 4, hold your breath for a count of 4, exhale for a count of 4, hold for a count of 4, and then do that over and over and over again. That stimulates your vagus nerve and it calms you down, reduces anxiety. And if you do that breath for 5 minutes, you're meditating. You're literally meditating. If you just think about your breath and do that counting, and it will calm you right down. You'll feel your muscles relax. For me, that works, right? For some other people, go outside, go for a walk, get out your knitting, crochet, go get your coloring book, get a drum kit, beat the crap out of the drums. Like, find your thing that makes you calm down, that releases all of that tension, and experiment with different things. But that is step number 2.
I'm shocked, by the way. I'm shocked that you play the drums.
I do badly, but I play the drums.
It's incredible. I learn new things about you every day. It's insane.
I don't have a drum kit, but I do play the drums in my head a lot.
Beating yourself up, I don't think counts as beating the drums in your head.
No. So there have been a couple of studies around where they took 2 groups of people and they taught one of them a finger technique for the piano and had them practice every day for 2 weeks. And the other group, they taught them the finger technique, but they had them just imagine it in their head for 2 weeks. And the people who imagined it in their head were just as good as the people who practiced for 2 weeks.
It's crazy.
When I listen to music, I listen to the drums and I see the drum kit and I see so I literally imagine playing the drums all the time.
Yeah. When I used to watch Michael Jordan play basketball, I would imagine I was as good as him. And then I would go on the court and boom, I was. It was amazing. The technique.
One step, trip, fall, face plant.
Something like that.
But no, to this day, I can pick up drumsticks and just play
That's
pretty
cool.
regular beat, but I can play.
That's so cool. Another thing that I would add to this list while we're at it is, and I think, you and I demonstrated it before we hit record, but it's community, like having people you can turn to. I recently have joined this text thread with these couple of guys that I'm going through this wellness program with, and just having a place where you're like, when it's all too much, the thoughts are too dark, things are just overwhelming, having a supportive place where you can put that and get it out of your head and share it with somebody and hear back from them, kindness, compassion, support. It's incredibly powerful. And I hope, just as your friend, you and I talked about some of the stuff going on prior to this. And I know sometimes you just need a place to vent. You need that community. You need someone to just be an ear and hear about the struggle that you're going through. So that, and some of the things you were saying out loud, you were prefacing them with, I know this sounds crazy, or I know this sounds silly, or whatever. And I think when you have to say it out loud, it helps you sort of compartmentalize it and go, okay, this is silly. Okay, I'm overreacting to this. I'm overthinking this, whatever. Having someone to turn to is so helpful when dealing with this kind of stuff.
That, or it's not silly at all. It's not crazy and it's legit.
Yeah.
And you're the one who feels stupid for reacting to that thing when in all reality, it's something that would trigger anyone. So having that other person validate,
yes,
yeah, no, you should be reacting to that, but let's do our breathing. And then the other thing of really that you let that upset you? Whiny person. Right? It is super helpful. One of the other things that I do, And I had to do it this morning when again, like I just had like so much stress and like this rage in me. And something pissed me off. And I immediately turned to gratitude, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your brain can't do both at the same time. So I forced myself to literally text somebody who, like, I love this person. They are fantastic. They inspire me. And I just texted them. I was like, hey, just wanted to let you know I'm thinking about you and I think you're great. And I just have such gratitude that you're in my life. And like, no ask here, no expectations, just boom, here you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
And like that moment alone too was really helpful because it just shifted me
Mm-hmm.
a little bit. Just like, so take those moments, find something to be grateful for. I mean, the fact that you woke up this morning is a good one.
Yeah.
You can't be angry and grateful at the same time. It's like literally impossible.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can go right back to being angry when you're done being grateful, but you get a little
Can't
moment
do
of
both.
reprieve in there.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I could go on and on about how much I love cold therapy as well. That's another huge stress relief source for me. But I think one that's maybe a little bit more attainable for everybody, and I think to some degree you're doing it, is just it's okay to just take a break. I mean,
Yeah.
it's, you know, you're using the box breathing, but I mean, just whatever it is for you. Like some days you got to veg out and just play video games, and that's fine. Like, right, you have to give yourself time to decompress. You've got to. Life is a series of expansion and contraction, and when it's in a contraction phase, like you've got to give yourself time. You got to just allow that part to happen, so that
Yeah.
you're rested and ready, so that when the challenge comes back up, you're ready for it and can take it on head first.
Well said. Whew. Thanks for listening to me, everyone. I feel better. I really do.
I do hope that some of these strategies were either good reminders or new ideas or something for you, but I would also be interested in hearing what you do to manage your stress at home. So if you are so inclined, jump into our Facebook group and leave us some comments on the ways that you manage your own stress. And of course, while you're jumping around and surfing the internet, we hope you'll head over to our website, thefitmess.com. There you can sign up for our newsletter, where we'll expand on these topics and share some more details on how to implement some of these strategies into your life. And you can sign up for that at our website, thefitmess.com. That's where we'll be back next week with a brand new episode. Thanks for listening.
See you, everyone. I feel better.
We know this podcast is amazing and doesn't seem to lack anything, but we need a legal disclaimer. Prior to implementing anything discussed in this podcast, it is your responsibility to conduct your own research and consult your physician. You should assume that Jeremy and Zach don't know what they're talking about, and they're not liable for any physical or emotional issues that occur directly or indirectly from listening to this podcast.